All right, the big news for today is that IRCC has announced another public policy wherein foreign nationals who are currently in Canada have a work permit or whose work permit have expired as of May 7, 2024, or who are currently under an implied status will be eligible to extend their work permits as long as they have a letter of support from the provincial nominee program of the province that they reside in. Now, what does this mean? That many of you whose work permits were going to be expiring this year will now be eligible to apply for an extension of your work permit, provided you have a letter of support from a participating provincial nominee office that you currently reside in or intend to reside in. The only condition, and again, there's not a lot of clarity in that, but the only condition that it seems right now is that you should have been placed in an expression of interest pool. Now, some provinces don't have an expression of interest pool, although Alberta is recently announced that they will be announcing one. So we're going to see how this pans out. Right now, only Alberta has really announced on their website that they will be issuing a letter of support. No other province has really announced any of that, as far as I know, upon checking the websites. But IRCC has definitely made this announcement. And what is the criteria? So basically, if you have there are three scenarios primarily. The first scenario is that if you hold a valid work permit and you've submitted an application for a new work permit, you have a letter of support that has been provided by the PNP office. Now, this PNP office must be a participating province in this particular policy. So if that province is not participating, then that province cannot issue the letter. So they have to have signed that agreement with the federal government. And then the letter must outline that the foreign national has been screened by the said provincial or territorial authority and has been placed in an expression of interest pool or is in the provincial or territorial authority's application inventory process for determining eligibility. So maybe if you've submitted an application or if you're still in the pool and awaiting an invitation to apply. So you will be eligible to apply. And then of course you need a job offer or a letter of employment from your current employer. The second scenario is that your work permit is currently expired, but you had a valid work permit as of May 7th, 2024. Now, if you submit a work permit application along with the same letter by the province, then you will also be able to get an extension on your work permit. And then, of course, you need the letter of employment as well. And then the final is that you are under implied status. So you've already submitted an application and you're still under implied status. Now, you could also be a visitor in this case. You could also be, could have converted your status to a student also. As long as you held a work permit on May 7, 2024, you can apply for this work permit under this public policy, provided you have a job offer letter, an employment letter, and if you have a letter from the provincial nomination authority. More information will, of course, be rolled out as the provinces start giving out those letters, or maybe more information on the website. Keep in mind that this policy is in effect as of today. However, it will expire on December 31st, 2024. So that's the criteria. So I think that's a big relief for a lot of people whose work permits were expiring. Again, I think there will be more information that we will find out about this particular policy. There's very limited information on hand right now. Just the fact that you can apply for a work permit. How are we going to get the letters? How is the province going to assess your eligibility? Is just an expression of interest enough? So all of that, we don't know how it's going to, sort of pan out, but let's wait for further instructions. But I think it's a good news for a lot of people whose work permits were expiring. At least there's a ray of hope for those of you. Good luck, everybody. I'll come back when I have more updates on this program.